Hi, friends, and welcome to episode 24 of a Disney Life podcast. Today is a special episode because we are recording this live on a preview sailing on the brand new Disney Destiny. So, for today's episode, Rachel is unfortunately not able to be with us. She's on a trip of her own today, but I am joined by our dear friend, Tammy Whiting. Hello, Tammy.
Hello.
Tammy and I are in our stateroom right now. The ship is currently docked at Disney Castaway Cay, which is one of their two private island locations in the Bahamas. It's a beautiful day outside, but we really wanted to bring this experience to our listeners. So we decided to take a little bit of time to go through our thoughts so far on the Disney Destiny.
Well, they're fresh. We have fresh
Well, they are very
thoughts.
fresh. They're very fresh.
They're still happening.
They're also slightly sleepy thoughts because we just finished Palo Brunch and we have been up well past midnight. 2 nights in a row on this sailing because there's so much to see. We just don't want to miss
short
it.
cruise, so much to do.
Yes. So fortunately, we both have more cruises coming up on this ship, which we will share with you as time goes on. But for today, we just wanted to share our thoughts, our first thoughts on our first couple days on the Disney Destiny. So the Destiny is the third ship in the Wish class on Disney Cruise Line. Tammy and I have both been on the Disney Wish and Disney Treasure before. They are the sister ships of the Destiny. So a lot of it's the same.
A lot. Mm-hmm.
And I think for the sake of this podcast, we'll kind of go through, since I know a lot of our listeners are somewhat experienced with Disney Cruise Line or have been starting to research those ships. We'll kind of do a comparison on some things that we've experienced on the Wish and Treasure and what that comparable option is on the Destiny.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So first of all, this ship is sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Disney Cruise Line does now have a year-round home there. Our port experience was very easy.
It's very
You
easy.
think?
Fort Lauderdale is super easy. I mean, it's so close to the airport. It's 10 to 15 minutes from the airport. So it's very easy port to get in and out of.
And we did stay at the Marriott Harbor Beach Resort the night before the sailing. We were able to see the ship from there, so that was super cool. Now, of course, on a typical cruise, your ship will arrive that morning. So when you get up in the morning, if you have a hotel room that looks out in that direction, you'd be able to see it across the intercoastal waterway there. It was extra special for us because being that it was a preview cruise, the ship was in port the night before. So we were able to see it lit up at night, which is my favorite.
Missy loves seeing ships.
I do. I love seeing ships
She
all the
does.
time.
And I will say, if you like seeing ships of any cruise line, Marriott Harbor Beach is a great hotel for that, because right in their backyard, so to speak, where the beach is, all of the ships as they leave for the day. So in the afternoon, you'll start seeing just sail right through the channel, very close to the hotel. So it's fun. You could watch. Oh, there goes Celebrity. Oh, there goes Carnival. All of them. Anyone that's sailing out of there.
And there are a lot of boats and yachts. I mean, it's an impressive place to be. I think it's one of my favorite ports, actually, for sightseeing and not necessarily things in the Fort Lauderdale area, although we did learn about some new things in that area today. If your family's arriving a little early for the cruise or wants to stay after, there are some things in that port to do. But even if you just want a hotel day, a place to sleep before, there's a lot to see around that area. So, okay. Anyway, so this is day 3 of our cruise, which means we have been on for 3 nights at this point. On our boarding day, of course, you enter on deck 3, as you do on this class ship. Is it all ships? I think they're all deck 3,
It
right?
is, unless you're in a different port. Sometimes the water level.
Depends on where you are. Yeah. So, but I mean, so on our classic ships, you may know it as the atrium. On the Wish class ships, it is the Grand Hall. That's where we entered. It's stunning.
It is. It's beautiful.
So are you able to rate at this point, do you have a favorite Grand Hall of the 3 ships that have a Grand Hall? I know. We didn't prep for this. That's our thing here. This is just chatting our way through this.
We're jumping right into Sophie's choice here. So I think it's going to be the Treasure. I think it's still slightly.
Okay, so actually the same.
The same? Okay,
Yeah.
I like the Destiny more than I thought. The concept art never does it justice. It didn't do the Treasure justice either.
The concept art was not great.
It was not great.
Think for me.
It felt
for
a little
this,
cold, I thought. And so it's much better than the concept art. You can start to see it in some photos and whatnot now, but it's really, really cool.
I do love the colors. There's a lot of purple, and I absolutely love purple, so that's fantastic. The chandelier is super cool. Is that chandelier something like? So we have a heroes and villains theme here.
Yes.
To me, it's just a super cool looking chandelier. I don't know if It basically looks like different spikes of rays of light and
So
beams, lasers, if you will.
well, that's a good question. I think it's a crystal. I think
Okay.
it's like, is it a vibranium crystal? Am I making that up from the Black Panther? I could be making that word up, but it sounds right. I think it's a crystal.
Okay, so this ship is exciting because it brings in so many different Disney movies that I sometimes get confused on what's what coming into it, because you see a mix of a lot of things. So I'm not 100% certain what that is happening in the Grand
So
Hall,
the Grand
but
Hall
it
is
is
very
gold.
Wanda,
Okay.
is the theming there.
Okay, so and it's a giant gold chandelier that does change lights, and we did stay up the first night in the Grand Hall to see. They do have a little, it's about slightly over 2 minute long kiss goodnight, as Disney typically calls it. I don't know if that's the official wording of it on this ship, but
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they called it that on this ship or not.
okay, but it's a really cute light show with some music that goes along with it that happens each night at midnight. We're not certain at this point on typical sailings if it'll happen more than at midnight. I know sometimes on the Wish it would be
On the
like
Wish,
at 10 or 11.
On the Wish, they did it normally on 10, 11, and 12. Yeah.
Okay. So our first overall impression with this ship is that she's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Same classic look from the outside with the very, what is it, Monica blue? Is that the color of the
Monica
paint?
blue.
Of the whole of the ship, and then the, Mickey inspired white and yellow along with the red funnels, which is my favorite ship look.
Red funnels. They're the
Of
best
all the ship, I
funnels.
love red funnels, and I love to see Disney cruise ships as we're sailing, and I can pick them out at a pretty far distance, especially at night, because those red funnels
help
when they're lit up really stand out. So let's start with the top deck of the ship and work our way down. So on the Disney Destiny, technically we have 15 floors, because right in the middle, the tower suite is technically deck 15. So the Wish class did start out with each ship having a suite in the forward funnel, and they've been adding them into the Dream and Fantasy now. So that's exciting. We actually toured it this morning, so we are not staying in the suite. We are in, I should mention where we are. We're in our stateroom right now. We are in a deluxe ocean view stateroom on deck 9 with veranda. So we have our own veranda out here, and it is a pretty typical room for Disney Cruise Line. We do have a single fold-down couch, and above us is the bunk, and then we have the queen-size bed, which is raised for plenty of luggage. So we have 3 adults, 3 ladies staying in here right now, and we have plenty of room for our space. And I just love Disney Cruise Line staterooms. I think they're very comfortable.
And they're all themed differently on the Wish class ships, all have different IP theming inside. And it's really fun to go into someone else's stateroom and say, oh, you have Baymax on the back, or you have Mulan on the back of it. And those are common on the Destiny, and really cool.
Right. And the theming is pretty much just the artwork. So there's artwork over the bed, and then as you see, one over our shoulder. So it's not way overdone.
If you didn't like a particular movie, I wouldn't avoid that room just because of it, because it's very subtle.
Right. And unless you're super obsessed with a particular movie, or your child is, I don't really think it's necessary to choose your stateroom based on what the theming is in that room.
What I really want to do, if you had like a huge Mulan lover or a Brave lover, you absolutely could choose it based on that.
It does add a little extra fun to the room. So ours is Raya and the Last Dragon. In our room, we have seen Hercules on Merida. Yep. So there's a variety of them. There must be 6, 7. I don't know, something. We may edit that out. My kids will hate me. Who am I fooling? They don't listen. They'll never know. Okay. Anyway,
there's a lot of Marvel theming in the concierge, especially.
So back up to the tower suite. Stateroom, 15,000?
14,000.
14,000. Okay. It's almost 1,700 square feet. It's a lot of space.
It's over. It's 1,960s.
Is it 19? I thought he was saying 16.
No, 19 something.
Okay, 1,900 square. Very big room. Very spacious room.
4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms.
And kitchen area. They keep that stocked with lots of goodies. Mickey ice cream bars. All of the things you need on a ship.
Champagne, all those things.
And we have talked before about suites, and I'm sure we can not just I said sweets, and then my mind went to dessert, and I was like, why am I talking about sweets right now? I'm so tired. No. I did. That's exactly what I did. I spelled it wrong in my head. Different concierge suite options on Disney Cruise Line. And we may actually need to do a whole podcast on those someday because we have some experience with that, Tammy, especially. And there's a lot to know, little tricks depending on the ship you're on with their suites. But on this ship, that tower suite is inspired by Tony Stark and his look. It's like a Tony Stark penthouse, basically.
It's
So
all Iron Man, lots of Iron Man in there.
yeah, it's a beautiful suite.
Oh, it really is. Yeah.
But again, I think I like the Tomorrowland suite on the Treasure a tad bit better.
Spaceship Earth, when you walk in, that lights up is kind of hard to beat.
I'm a parks girl, but it's amazing. The suite is amazing, and we are super excited that we actually have a group traveling this spring, and we have that.
We have it booked.
Actually, amazing suite booked. More on that.
We'll record a podcast in there.
More on that in the future. We absolutely will. We will chat about that. Okay, so then down to deck 14, starting all the way forward, basically the same as what you would see on the Wish and Treasure with Chippendale's pool up in the front there. So
right, the outside of the ship is, it's basically the same ship, but they're sister ships, and so it's the same basic structure. And so the outside of the ship, including the top decks, there you're really not going to see much differences at all.
So Chippendale's pool is for all ages. I think there's sometimes some confusion over that because on the Dream and the Fantasy, you have Satellite Falls all the way forward in that part of the ship, and that's an adult-only area. So I kind of thought the secret would get out on this over the years. Like after the Wish first started sailing, I thought, don't tell anybody that little ones could be up there because, and I love little kids, nothing against them. But, sometimes I like my quiet time up in the front of the ship, but it's never really a super populated area, probably because it's a little further from the food, a little further from the drink. There is not a bar up there.
Funnel vision from there.
Right. You can't see funnel vision there, so you don't have the entertainment going on. There is not a bar in that area, and you cannot take drinks in that pool.
No.
So usually the adult pools on Disney Cruise Line fleet allow for beverages in the pool, but this is not an adult pool, no drink in it.
And there are roving bartenders, but it's hard to drink at your seat.
Right, no drinks in the pools. So yeah, I was up there this morning to check things out. It looks great. Of course, the hours will be listed in your app for that. I think the pool hours for that are a little bit different than the main pool area. So you also have, I think, the upper level of where the two-story suites look out is technically up on 14, right? But do you enter them on 13?
You enter them on 13.
On 13, but they have spiral staircases that lead to the upstairs. Absolutely gorgeous. We were in there for a tour also a couple days ago, and those are amazing suites. One is it's called the Incredi Suite, which is a very fun name, and then the other is a Hero Suite.
Yes.
So those cover two decks, 13 and 14. Very different decorations, but pretty much the same layout from what we understand. We have not actually been in the second one, but from what we understand, it is the same. So a little bit further back on deck 14, you have the Currents Bar, and there's a smoking area. They're also on the port side of the ship. At the other side, is that blocked off for concierge there, or can you circle all the way?
You can circle.
It's the Dream you can't anymore. Yeah, confusing ships. It's tricky. There's a lot of them. I have a built-in deck plan in my brain for each one, and sometimes they get a little mixed up. And then all the way in the back up on what is considered deck 14 is just the sun deck that overlooks the adult area, which is the Cove. So we can hop down a deck to 13 now to the Cove. So same as Wish and Treasure with those two very strange bench areas with running
benches with water that run down your back.
Wasted space.
What to call them.
Wasted space that could be a hot tub. It
should be a hot tub. Yeah, 100%.
This ship has one hot tub.
Much to Missy's chagrin. Unless you're in concierge in one of those giant suites and you have a hot tub on your veranda.
Yeah. So there are suite options that have your own hot tub. There's a hot tub in the. Is there a hot tub on the concierge deck?
Yes.
Okay. I remember the little pool there, but I couldn't. Yeah. Okay. So there are hot tub options, but as far as hot tub for
the general public,
regular guests that are not suite level guests, there is just the one.
And only for adults.
And that is back towards that adult only area. So, but we have seen them fleet wide scaling down a bit on the hot tubs. They've removed some over the years, much to my dismay. I don't understand why, but I'm assuming it's maintenance and
And children in
youth
the hot
and
tubs.
children and
The
yeah.
little people soup hot tubs with the children in
It
them.
does
Yes.
get like that.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So back at the cove, the adult area, we have the cove. There's a cove bar
Mhm.
facing aft, and then the cove cafe. Um, Again, like the Wish and Treasure, I'm a little sad that they don't have the complimentary dessert options, little snack
Yeah,
options in
just
there like they do
charcuterie
on
and
some of the
whatnot.
other
Yeah.
ships. Yeah. So that is something you can still get on the classic ships and the Dream and Fantasy.
Mhm.
That's still an option, but not on these ships. Still a beautiful space, very relaxing
Mhm.
area. Lots of lounge chairs, some rockers. It's gorgeous
Yep.
back there, adult only in that whole part of the ship. And it's pretty excluded. I mean, you kind of have to you go up the steps or the elevator and then out and around to the back. It's not super easy to get to. So you're not going to have kids running through
No
it.
kids
It
walking
is
through
adult
accidentally.
exclusive. Yeah. A little bit forward of that, you have the Hero Zone. We have not stepped foot in there yet, now that I think about it.
We have not on this ship.
But it is
It's
exactly the same
Yeah, it's the
as
same.
it is on the Wish and Treasure, and we have been in those many times. So if you're not familiar with those, if you find any content on the Wish and Treasure, it's going to pretty much be the same. They have the inflatable
Great
and
space.
credit
Really good
course to
space.
play with and different things in
There's
there.
foosball tables and there's ping pong tables. There's a lot to do in there.
And I think up on that level is that where the entrance to the Aqua Mouse is? So you'd go
It's
from the pool area below,
on the second
and then up
floor.
a level. So that's technically deck 13 also. And then all the way forward on deck 13 is where you'll have the concierge lounge
Mhm.
and little deck area there, right?
Mhm.
So we'll hop down. We're all the way forward now. We'll hop down to deck 12, where it is the lower level of the concierge
It's
lounge.
actually, yes, the main area of the lounge with a small veranda type deck right outside. And then you can go upstairs to the large sun deck we were just referring to, inside or outside.
Okay.
There's stairs inside or outside of the lounge.
Just outside of that is where you're going to find the elevators. We haven't mentioned elevators yet. So it was like a big thing. People kind of freaked
It
out
was a big thing
with
for
the Wish class
Mhm.
because they went from 3 sets of elevator banks to 2.
Even though there's more elevators,
There are
less
more in
space.
each section. Yeah. So it has not been an issue, I don't
No.
think. I've gotten very used to it. I don't think it's a
It's
problem.
an issue during some big bottlenecks, like right after muster drill. That's going to happen at times, but it's just those one or two.
Right. So the forward elevators on deck 12 will lead you out to the Toy Story splash area, which is super cute. Same as the other ships. There's a Slidosaurus Rex there. Trixie's Falls, Wheezy's, Freezy's. Yep. So all that stuff is the same. Then you go back to the main area overlooking where I guess the Donald's pool is technically deck 12, but it's further back because that's the raised.
They all have
So they're
different
the higher
pools.
ones,
They all
right?
have different names. All those little pools. There's so many pools on
Right.
Yeah.
There are many little pools. So rather than a large normal swimming pool, which is personally my preference.
I like all the small ones. Do you not like them?
How often do you go in those?
Well, okay.
Like, so
I
often?
don't swim very
Yeah.
often. It seems nice
Okay,
to have
so-
a bunch of different options, I think.
It
If
is
this
nice.
one's full, I'm going to go to that one.
So a few things. I would imagine families with small children, yes, that's
Mhm.
ideal because you're not in the 4-foot deep pool where the little ones are in over their heads. You're not having to get in with them. They can kind of splash around and
Mhm.
play. I like moving around and actually swimming around in a pool.
That's it.
So just me personally, I like the bigger ones, but I love these and would absolutely spend a day lounging out in the sun in any one of these pools. But they are all spread around. Like I call them all puddle pools, even though I know that's not what they're called. Because isn't that what they started? So when they put the first little one in on the
There are some
Dream,
puddle pools.
they called it a puddle pool. So that's just what I went with. So now those are kind of like the standard of what there is. Although the puddle pool, I think, was only 18 inches deep. These are deeper than that.
Yeah.
Most of them are. So they're within that same main Lido deck area,
Mhm.
the pool area,
Mhm.
but they are technically different decks.
There
so
are a few, yes, and there's stairs up to some of them, and you can see them all. But the stairs are very helpful for things like Pirate Night and whatnot. So there's different levels to watch things on.
And they could also all be covered over. So
Mhm.
and they use that extra deck space for activities like
Mhm.
Pirate Night. So that's handy too. Again, very sad because one of my favorite things to do on cruises is swim later in the evening, and a lot of times the pools on the ship will be closed. So,
Things like that.
but that's not like this ship specifically. That's
Right.
just how Disney tends to be doing things, and that's based on guest demand. I realize I'm the minority there.
You are.
uh, I accept that. And
As you said, you're one of
Right.
the only people in the pool that
right, that's true.
did
So
not leave them open for you.
right, so it's just the Donald pool on that level, and then further back from there is where you will find the Rose, which is I think my favorite lounge.
It is a great lounge.
It is just it's in the adult area where you'll find Palo and Enchante,
Mhm.
the adult only restaurants. We just had Palo brunch this morning. It was amazing,
Delicious.
absolutely amazing, delicious. Uh, Always a favorite.
Mhm.
Uh, and then it's also where the other entrance to Hero Zone is. Right, that's like the
Yes.
main. And
Yes.
so there's Hero Zone, and then Vibe
Vibe.
is there. So Vibe's your teen club,
And Hideaway.
and
Hideaway, which is part of the teen club, but they will section it off. Sometimes they'll close it off for some other events like the 18 to
Depend-
21-year-old club.
right, depending on what they're doing. But it's the same space that they kind of can divide in
They can
half.
open the door
They
and
could
close
wall
the
it
door,
off,
but-
door it off. Yeah.
Mhm.
So then down on deck 11. So this is the main pool deck. This
Right.
is if you're going to
Yes.
the pool, you're getting in the elevator, you're going to hit 11.
Yes.
That's where you're going is deck 11. And there's a lot of food there.
Yes.
You have, I don't really think this is the best name.
Which one?
Mickey and Friends Festival of Foods,
Oh.
which I had to write down because I can't
It
ever
is a
remember
long
what it's
name.
called.
It
It is
is a
a
long
long
name.
name. It is somewhat like I don't think of a festival of
Like a
being like
celebration.
food thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like turkey legs. at a
Like
festival?
call it Mickey's Bites, okay? And then I'm gonna get it. I don't know. But it's again same as Treasure
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Wish. So and that's great. They have a ton of food
and
options.
and good food. The
Mhm.
the taco bar and
Those tacos are always the most popular.
they are super
And they've added those cantinas in on the other ships, right? I know they added it on Dream. Did they put it
people
on
love
Fantasy?
those bowls and tacos. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, people love those. I do not love those. I love the mac and cheese and the brisket. That's what
barbecue.
I got from the barbecue place. But you're gonna have your chicken tenders there, fries, burgers.
They're grilling right there. They are
Right,
not like
they're making
frozen.
their-
They are very good
Yep.
burgers. And I think the pizza is better on this class too. Pizza's really good.
It is good.
Yes.
But when you're hungry and it's almost midnight, I mean, anything would be good.
It does, and we have had it
Any
at
pizza would be good.
midnight.
Every night. Yeah, that's how we
Yes.
end our nights is recap the
That is
day. After they kick us out of the lounges, we need some food and we eat pizza and go night night.
That is true.
Deck 11 is also where your beverage stations are.
Mhm.
So with Disney Cruise Line, your sodas and your coffees, your hot cocoa, your water, it's all free
Mhm.
at the refill station. So that doesn't include canned or bottled items, but you could bring your own cup or use the small paper cups
Mhm.
provided to refill at those stations at the pool deck. And they are plentiful and open 24/7.
Yep.
So that's super handy. So that's where they are is deck 11. They have a little shop there. That's Dory's Forget Me Nots, and that's where you'll find like swim apparel and little merch like
Sure.
that, swim related things if you need it. So that's up there. They also have their sweet shop. Edna a la mode
Mhm.
is up there on
It is
that
a
deck.
really
We were in
cute
there
cake shop.
yesterday.
Mhm.
Yep, you had a cupcake. Was
I
that?
did. I
And
did.
I got a num num cookie.
That's right.
Also delicious.
That's right.
So we actually took desserts from there
Mhm.
and we went up to the Cove Cafe
Mhm.
yesterday to get a hot beverage there. It was a windy day yesterday. We had kind of a chilly, breezy day.
Me too.
I am always a hot and sweating person, and I didn't even bring long sleeves with me.
She had to
This
buy
is
long
November.
sleeves.
I
This
had to
was her
buy.
excuse to buy long sleeves.
I had to buy long sleeves and ended up with 3. 6 total sleeves.
Three night cruise.
Three
You needed
long
3
sleeve
of them, right? Yes. Yes.
And then the final thing back on deck 11 is Marceline Market, which is this ship's version of the buffet.
Mhm.
Same as Wish and Treasure. It is cabanas on the other ships, the older ships. And it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I think it's a
The
great.
abundance of food there. Love the layout.
Great
Love the ambiance of it. It's a little more relaxed, I think, than some cruise ship buffets. That's pretty great. Anything on that whole first part we talked about that you can think of that I skipped as well? You can like jump in at any time if you need to.
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
we hit most of them. Mhm.
All right. So there are some staterooms, concierge rooms on 12 and 13, 11 towards forward. There are some staterooms.
7 of them on 11 that are on the very front of the ship, and then
Okay.
there are 2 on the very aft of the ship deck 10.
Okay.
Mhm.
But then once we get down to deck 10, we're staterooms.
No, deck 10 has 2 concierge rooms all the way.
All the way aft in the corner.
The
We've been
only
in
ones.
one
We have
on the
only
Wish.
one.
Yep.
They have hot tub on the veranda.
yeah.
Yes, they are very nice. Yes, but those are the only concierge room. The 2
But
on
the
deck
whole-
10 and the 7 on deck 11 are bowls. The rest of them are all right next to the lounge.
But the whole rest of deck 10 is just regular staterooms.
Absolutely, yes.
So we've got 10 staterooms. We've got 9 is just staterooms.
Mhm.
8 is almost all staterooms with the exception of one of my favorite things that Disney Cruise Line offers,
Oh,
Fairy tale fresh laundry.
serve laundry.
Serve laundry. So nobody really wants to do laundry on vacation, but if you, I don't know, buy yourself a brand new Spirit jersey because you're chilly, and then you go to lunch and you drivel chocolate syrup on you,
To save it.
you might wish
Yes.
there was laundry on
That's
board.
true. And there's iron, so we
there
can
are iron for ironing
for those of
clothes.
us that iron all the time.
Now, if you're new to cruising, this may sound like no big deal because, like, every hotel room that you ever visit is going to have an iron, right? But not every cruise ship.
No
Your
cruise
stateroom
ships.
is not going to have an iron, and you are not going to get an iron on the cruise ship.
Nope. And
That's a big no-no.
and
Fire
Disney's-
hazard,
Yes.
no exception.
And Disney's just about the only cruise line I can think of that has self-serve laundry.
Right. That's
Every
what I'm
other-
saying. That's like one of my favorite
Not just
things.
ironing, yes, but also
But,
washing
yeah,
and drying.
You can do it yourself.
You
So,
can do it yourself.
I mean, when you're coming with kiddos that you know may have some messes during the day, or you don't want to bring a pile of swimsuits, and you want to be able
Or if
to
you're on a
clean them and dry them out.
itinerary,
Longer
like
sailings,
a 12-night
yes.
itinerary or something, you might want to do.
And it is a huge laundry room. We're not
It is,
talking
it
about
is.
there's 2 or 3 washers or dryers to share. It is
It's
a
huge.
large room. It is located just off of the forward elevators
Mhm.
on deck 8. So very easy to find. Have not actually used the washers or dryers,
I
have
have
you?
once. I have once. Not
Do
a-
they
not
have
in
an
Disney.
app like they do at the parks to
They
be
do
able to
not.
notify you?
do
So
not
you
at the
just kind of
parks.
need to keep an eye on the time. Nobody can run too far with your clothes because they're in the middle of the ocean. So,
Right.
I mean, they're
right.
relatively safe.
I want to say that they do give you an update through the app when it's done, but I could be wrong.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. That would be very fun. We should research that, but
Mhm.
not today.
Not
We don't
to
have
do
enough
laundry.
time to
We
do
don't-
laundry today because we're finished up today. All right, so deck 7 staterooms, deck 6 staterooms. Very forward, all the way forward on deck 6 is where the promenade that goes around, which is mostly on deck 4. That goes up in the front of the
So
ship.
4 and 5
And a little bit in 6. Yep.
Mhm.
So, but for the most part, 6 is just staterooms. So, deck 5 all the way forward, we have the Senses Spa
Mhm.
and Fitness Center. Same. Haven't been in there, but it's the same. The other
Spend a
ship.
lot of time in the fitness center.
Okay. And then back just beyond the elevators, we have Cask and Cannon,
Mhm.
which I want to call Canyon, and it's not. I don't know why. It doesn't even fit.
Can't
It
pirate.
makes
It's a
sense.
pirate.
I don't know why. I can't speak correctly, but Cask and Cannon. So that's your pub option here. Very fun, piratey theme. They have some cool drinks. We got a treasure chest drink the other day that comes in a treasure chest.
Yes, 2
and
drinks
it lights up,
with
and it's
lights
all like smoky
and gold
and
chocolate coins inside and lots
very
of smoke.
mysterious
Mhm.
looking.
Mhm.
So that's a lot of fun. So you'll have some interactive things in there.
Mhm.
They also have the very useless Triton Lounge. I do not like the Triton Lounge.
She does not like the Triton Lounge.
I know.
I don't mind it. I do like
There's
trivia. There's a lot of
there's
trivia.
nowhere to get drinks in there. I feel like it's always hot, and I don't think it's big enough for the kind of things they try to do.
They
in
do a
there
lot of trivia in
sometimes.
there. Mhm.
Sometimes
And
there's a lot of
like
trivia.
music trivia in there can get really packed.
So probably they just don't want more people than that, because I feel like if they made the wish and then decided, ooh, Missy's right, this space is way too small, they would have changed that up. They did
Probably.
not. So they've kept it.
Probably.
So apparently I lose that battle too. But yeah, Triton Lounge is there, and it's fine. So then you have just outside of that a balcony area that overlooks your big common. What would you even call that venue? So I know it's Saga, right?
Oh,
That's
yes.
what it's called.
Yes.
It's Luna on
Mhm.
the Wish, and it's
Sarabi on the Treasure.
Sarabi on the Treasure.
Mhm.
So there's
It's a
2 levels of that, 2 stories.
entertainment venue.
So the stage is down on the lower level, up on deck 5 where we are right now. That's the upper level
Mhm.
to look over it.
So it's a nice big space. It fits a lot of people. Mhm.
And then they have their art shop, Art on Demand, and then they have one of my favorite shop, Mickey's Main Sales. That's all the merch. Everything you want in there. Disney, Destiny related things, Disney Cruise Line things.
Yeah.
There's plush, all different kinds of plush, stuffed animals, shirts, sweatshirts, fleece blankies.
Mhm.
Tammy was eyeing up a
Very nice. Yes.
super soft.
Super soft.
blankie. Of course, there's cups and mugs and
That's true.
water bottles, all the things, all the merch are
Christmas
in there.
ornaments. Christmas ornaments.
Yep, Christmas ornaments are in there too. All the way back beyond
Also
that,
sundries. Sorry, there's sundries.
there are some sundries in there.
Diapers,
Yeah,
baby food, things like that. If you've
Mhm.
forgotten things like that.
right outside of there, actually, I almost skipped over. What is it? Merida Cafe
Okay.
Merida
Mhm.
is right there.
Okay.
So again, just rethemed from the Wish and Treasure. Nice location for a shop there. And then Shutters is there,
Mhm.
which is your photo studio.
Mhm.
So one thing that we did find on that deck that's new.
New. It is new.
It is called Disney Studio.
Mhm.
You wouldn't know that it's anything special during the day, but at certain times
Really
of the
tucked away.
day,
Yeah.
there's a secret activity in there. We're really going to try to get there
I mean,
later today.
it's secret. It's on the Navigator app, but it's
It is on the app, but it's not like, okay, so I went by earlier today just to make sure that I'm correct in this. So in case you're questioning what I'm saying right now, I
Okay,
did
okay.
verify this.
Okay.
The Disney Studio sign is there all the time, but the Dr. Facilier overlay
The parlor
is not there. The parlor
that they put over the
decoration
door.
for that,
Okay.
that
Okay.
must just be added at the time that they're doing that special Dr.
Okay.
Facilier event. No cameras allowed, no recording devices, no photos, very secretive pop-up little event, not so
Little
pop-up because
magic
it's
trip.
scheduled, but yeah.
Scheduled pop-up.
From what we understand, it's like card tricks and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And
So
people have said it's really, really fun.
yeah. So
It's
basically
so different than anything else.
very different for DCL. We experienced something like that on Virgin
We
before,
did.
with Virgin Voyages, which was super neat
It was very
to
fun.
have somebody appear and do a card trick.
We would like some card trick.
And we started hearing chatter about this on board, and we could not figure out where's Disney Studio. We wandered around. We asked some cast members. They were like, "Oh, it's by the Grand Hall." And where? Well, they didn't know. They just knew all they had was by the Grand Hall. So we sought it out, and we did find it. So, that's exciting. And then all the way aft on Deck 5, something we haven't experienced yet. We will tonight. If all goes well, we're going to record an extra little blurb at the end of this podcast with our reviews for Feast of the Lion King. Pride Land's Feast of the Lion King is the new restaurant on this ship.
Super excited about this one.
So, of course, it's Lion King themed.
It is. Have all Lion King music all the time. I mean, there's no better music. There's no better music. No better Disney music.
I don't know, because
Disney music, I'll clarify.
Well, I was just about to say, on the Disney Wish, it's Arendelle, and I am a diehard Frozen fan. I have nothing against Lion King. Ironically, I don't enjoy the restaurant because it was really loud and crazy.
Very loud.
So they did make some improvements from Wish to Treasure with changing where the server stations are and some different things that happen to make it a little bit more guest and cast member friendly in that area, because it's tough. They have a show going on the stage in the middle of this. It's like a dinner theater with the stage in the center, and you've got kids in large long tables and heavy chairs and full dinner being served with, starters and soups and salads and entrees and dessert, and it's a whole thing. It's a huge undertaking, and I'm sure a really difficult night for the cast members, so because there's a lot going on. So we will see if we notice any differences in there. It's Coco themed on the Treasure, and like I said, they did make some changes on the Treasure, so we will see what we find out tonight, and hopefully I'll be able to record a little thing of this before we get this posted.
If we stop singing long enough to eat, then we can tell you about the food.
Right. It might be difficult. I mean, I do know all the songs. So I will sing with you. Yeah. I kind of love Frozen more, but still also love Lion King. So when I was a young warthog.
That's it.
All right, hopping down to Deck 4. We're almost done. We're almost through all of these already here. If we start all the way forward on Deck 4, it's the top level of the Walt Disney Theater. So that is your big stage theater, gorgeous theater in itself. Theaters are always something on ships. So when I walk in and look around, I think, I can't believe this is on a cruise ship. Because sometimes you'll go to a theater in a city and the theater you see is not as impressive at all. Like, it's not even comparable to what you see on the ship. So it's incredible. The show on this ship, the new show, is Hercules, which Tammy saw last night.
That's the big show. It is.
And was it amazing? Tell us about it.
It was very good. It is, it's Moana is on the Treasure. Moana's hard to beat. Moana was, tears.
Moana.
Yes, Moana was amazing. And so Hercules does a lot of things very right. The cast is incredibly talented. The Hercules, oh wow, his voice, and the muses were so fun.
Did he look very strong?
So
Tell me
good.
about
He
him.
looked very strong. Very, very strong.
Thought maybe.
Yes, he did. And the set is gorgeous. All the different sets. The puppetry is wow. The things they are doing with the puppetry was amazing. There's maybe some kinks to work out. We really enjoyed it, but it doesn't quite pass Moana, but still very fun. Hercules also has great music, so it's fun. The music's fun.
And Frozen's there tonight, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
What if I invited you to go to Frozen with me?
I would die of shock.
I usually skip the shows.
She skips the shows.
I love the theater. I love theaters. I love live shows, but I love so many other things on cruise ships that I can't
She's
do.
normally in a pool, and that's why we can't get her to get to the show.
Right. Like, I can't swim at home right now because I live in Pennsylvania and it's very cold there, and I don't have an indoor pool at home. I could swim here.
You could.
I could. Ever since I got a hot tub at home, though, like I don't get in them as often on trips. So, I mean, there's a chance that I may go to the show tonight. We'll see. I don't know. We have a lot of things to do. A lot of things to do tonight, but we'll see. So, in addition to the live stage theater, there are also the Wonderland and Neverland cinemas, which are movie theaters on board, two of them.
Yep.
Smaller theaters, but very comfortable and big screens where you can see Disney movies playing. Those, again, same as
New
the
movies,
Wish.
classic movies. Yeah.
Same
Sometimes
as Wish and
during
Charlie.
big sporting events like the Super Bowl, they might put the Super Bowl in there to give you more options for where to watch it.
And then just beyond that is where you'll find Saga Snacks, which is just outside Saga. So this is the main level of that. That was what Tammy explained to us a couple minutes ago, was where they do different little shows there, trivias.
They do karaoke, they do trivia. They do,
Is that where they do silent DJ?
they do silent DJ tonight for adults.
Tammy loves silent DJ. I don't get it. I just don't get why we're not just all listening to the music. So here's what I don't get. Let's hash this out right now.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So from what I understand and what I have witnessed at Silent DJ as an outsider, you've got your headphones on.
Yep.
You are dancing to your music. You've got your moves. Okay, you got your moves. How is that any better than just having the music playing and dancing?
Okay, so
Because your moves are going to be the same regardless
yes, they are.
of if the music is just in your ears or if
You
everyone
don't know if I am on the beat or totally off the beat. As someone that doesn't dance very often outside of a silent DJ, you don't know. Like, I'm listening and I'm dancing, I could be totally off beat, but you don't know because you're listening to a different song. So
How offbeat can you be with that stuff?
you can be pretty offbeat with it. And then you're making connections with people that have this. You can see what color they're on, and you're like, "What color am I on? Oh, I'm on red too." And you're on red. And you're like, "Oh, we're both doing YMCA." You know, you're coming together and you're doing that. You're making connections with different people.
then I mean, so if we're both on red and we're both doing YMCA, you would know if I'm doing M
Then you
when
know
I'm
if
supposed to
somebody's
be
off.
doing C,
Yes,
and you'll
then
know
you-
when I'm off.
But if you're worried about it, you can just flip to a different channel real quick. So
Silliest thing, but I know it has a huge following. I love the silent
absolutely
DJ.
cruises.
Best part of it is that in that case, I would not have to hear YMCA.
You can choose a channel.
I could just not hear any music and sit there in silence while the rest of you goofballs dance around.
And dance parties used to be very quiet and very empty late at night on Disney ships, and silent DJ has changed that. I mean, these silent DJ, they're way too late at night. But other than that, they get packed. They get packed.
Very late. Okay. And then next back is the Grand Hall, which is the same area we discussed earlier. It is open 3 levels. So it's deck 3, 4, and 5. So deck 4 is the middle level of it. It's always just fun to stop there and look around and see what's going on because there are often characters walking around, characters doing meet and greets, always music playing. You know, everywhere you go around the common areas of the ship, you'll hear music in the background to enjoy. So the Grand Hall, and that is also... Sorry, bless you, my dear. That is also where you'll find guest services on this ship. So the guest service location is on deck 4 of the Grand Hall, right in the middle on the port side of the ship. So if you have any issues or anything you need assistance with, that is where you'll be able to find some helpful cast members there. You'll also have the Untangled Salon, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and Hook's Barbery are all right there. So for all of your... whatever you need to get dolled up. I don't even know what you call it because clearly it's not something I spend much time on.
No. And Hook's Barbery has like whiskey tasting and bourbon tastings are in there. It's supposed to be, really neat for that setup.
Shake me down or something?
No, you wouldn't do that. You would just
okay.
And then Untangled is very cute, adorable name.
Yes, it is. And I was in the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique this morning. It is the same as on the other ships, but it is super adorable. It is fully stocked, and I would imagine as a small child walking in there and just seeing the huge array of dresses is just unbelievable.
You're not going to get out of there without spending a lot of money.
It makes my mommy heart go like, oh, my little girls. And then I think, wow, they're 19 and 16. And probably if there was one in their size, they would totally be in here putting those on.
I'm sure.
Yes.
I think we skipped Megara. Did we skip Megara?
We did. It is on my list, but I kind of in the wrong order, but it is right there. Cafe Megara, same as Cafe Merida, but different themes,
slightly different menus.
Okay.
But they and different theming, of course. But yeah, it's very nice to have when Disney started building these coffee shops and whatnot outside of Cove Cafe. So for teenagers that couldn't go to Cove Cafe and things, they can get coffee other places. But they also do have some alcohol and some mixed drinks that they
Okay, so let's go back a couple years to when we were teenagers.
Okay.
Can you imagine needing a place for teenagers to go to coffee?
No. That's a new thing. Newish.
I drink coffee. I mean, I drank a lot of Mountain Dew back then and Coca-Cola, not coffee.
But now can you imagine teenagers not drinking coffee?
No, I mean, basically teenagers are drinking flavored syrups with a
Absolutely.
splash of coffee.
And who can blame them? Because
Maybe, but-
coffee's not good.
Well, I drink coffee. And then back a little bit further than that is where you'll find Worlds of Marble.
Yes.
So do we know, is that show different here? So
It
I
is.
know it's a different show on. So the Treasure has a different show
The
than
Treasure
on the
has-
Wish, but it's because it has two shows because it's longer
They have
sailings,
one of the
right?
same shows,
Okay.
and then they have the second show.
All right. And it is worth mentioning this ship pretty much does 4 and 5 night itineraries is what will be normal out of
Yep.
Fort Lauderdale. So the Wish does 3 and 4 for the most part. The Treasure is pretty standard 7 night Eastern or Western Caribbean itinerary. So this is a nice mashup of both. It's a really good in between.
And 5 nights is about my favorite length of sailing. I love the longer the better for sure. But 5
I was
nights
just gonna say no, it's not.
But I like 5 nights because it's not as quick and rushed as a 3 and 4 night, of course, and it's easier to fit into a schedule. 7 nights are hard to fit into schedules for a lot of people because it's Saturday to Saturday, so you're probably missing Friday work,
Right.
so it's really Friday to the next Saturday. And 5 nights they move around a little bit more, and you can fit them in easier.
Yeah, you can kind of pick up more over a weekend at that point and maybe not miss so much work with it. I mean, because if you're to the point you're missing a whole week, you might as well just go 7.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
But I think it's an ideal length. I think that
it
this
really
ship
is.
will
It really is.
will be pretty regularly filled up because it'll be a pretty ideal length for them. All right, so down to deck 3, that's the main level. So if we're all the way forward, that's the main entrance to the theater area where you'll have Preludes, which is the popcorny. Do they have snacks besides popcorn? I've honestly never gotten any.
M&M's, different candy bars, yeah.
But you pay for those.
Yes, you do.
Not for me. So
Unless you're staying concierge, then you get popcorn free.
popcorn free, but you're still paying for the other snacks there. So
And sodas, and they're canned sodas and things and you do pay for those.
but you can take other snacks and drinks in. So if you wanted to get fill your cup up on the pool deck and bring that down, you don't have to buy a drink at Prelude. You can take
Correct.
a
They
complimentary
don't.
drink.
They
if you
used
wanted
to. People used to get like whole plates of chicken fingers and bring them in. They don't like you to do that anymore.
Well, that's
But-
kind of tacky in a theater, honestly.
And
when
you
you have live
you have a
performers
plate.
and
What are you
you're
gonna do with
eating
the
your
plate?
chicken nuggies,
Yes.
like come on,
Yes.
don't do that.
But snacks and snacks and drinks, yes, you can bring. those
Okay.
in.
And then you have my second favorite shop, or maybe equally as favorite shop, Treasures Untold.
Very good. And it did have a few things that we didn't find in Mickey's Mainsail, like the
It definitely has.
sweatshirt that we don't.
Yeah, so it had a lot of Destiny stuff, but then had other things. It has Pandora jewelry.
Yes.
It's where you're going to find
and
your
Burke's.
Dooney and Burke purses. Couple other things. They had
Tommy
those the
Bahama
crossbody. Yeah.
And Lily Pulitzer.
And they had some lug bags in there.
Yeah.
Didn't mention to you, actually, when you were gone this morning, I ran in and bought a Pandora charm and also a ring.
You did.
Of course. They look so sparkly in the case. And I had this whole conversation with our friend Missy that's traveling with us yesterday about how I don't wear real rings anymore. I wear like these rubbery rings because I fidget with them. And my husband and I call them our adventure rings because we're always adventuring one place or
You're
another.
gonna jump out of an airplane and
No,
get
well,
caught.
because he's more adventurous than me, and it's more of like construction and cutting wood or fishing or hunting, and like I don't want him to lose a finger, so we wear these. But also, they had this super cute Pandora ring that was so sparkly, and it was $55. Platinum and Pearl Castaway Club members get a discount. I
Disney
mean,
Divas, too.
basically, they gave me a ring today. Put it in my bag in a cute little
10%.
box. I have this new ring now. It looks much fancier than what it is, I'm sure, because it was $55. It was very cute. And I had bought a Pandora necklace chain at the Riviera Resort this summer, and I had been wanting to get just a single charm for it. So I have a Pandora bracelet that I've had for many years, like since they started becoming a thing with the cruise and the parks charms, and it's full and I never even wear it, and it's also tarnished. It looks yucky.
Oh no.
So I need to get it clean but I went home after that trip because I thought surely I have a charm on there that I will choose to be, this is the special charm. I'm going to wear it on my necklace. And I got home and decided none of them were the charm. I didn't know what I wanted. So today I bought a little ship.
Now you have the charm.
I have a little
Yes.
ship charm,
Okay.
and I got that today.
Okay.
So yeah, that was my shopping adventure this morning. They also have super soft sweatshirts that are like that lighter weight sweatshirt that's not heavy and real fuzzy or fleece on the inside, but they're like comfy
We
and
all got
baggy. Yeah. So you got one last week at Disneyland, and then we
And
saw they were
another
on the
one.
ship.
Yep.
I have a friend who texted me last night saying, hey, I don't know how much room you have in your luggage. If you have room,
That's right.
there's something I want you to get. And I was like, it's the gray sweatshirt,
It's
isn't
true.
it? And
It's
it
true.
was
And it was
absolutely,
the gray
she
sweatshirt.
said, yeah, it's a shirt.
Well, several of our friends have bought it.
I said, you don't even need to tell me what it looks like because I already know what it is. They do run big, just so you know.
Very big.
Long sleeves, which I like. I don't like the sleeves like inching up the cuffs on my arm here. So anyway, yeah, so that is what did I say that was called? Treasures Untold.
Yes.
And what really should be my favorite space on the ship that I do absolutely love, the Haunted Mansion parlor.
Should be your favorite.
Exceptionally well done, almost the same as on the Treasure. A little bit different. I was told today by a cast member there are
What did
some
you see
small.
that was different?
I did not see it yet.
Okay. Oh,
I was
sure.
told by a cast member today there are a couple little different like things that happen.
It
so
looked the same.
we
You know,
need to
first
have
glance, I went in today.
Right.
At first glance, it looked the same, but there are possibilities.
I do not even know who
movements.
told me that today, but somebody I talked to today told me that.
We're gonna have
And
to go
I
in and say,
thought,
"Show us."
great.
exactly
Please tell us what
different.
is different. Yeah, because we are limited with time on this, but I'm a huge Haunted Mansion fan.
Yes, you are.
I was so worried when they said they wanted to build this, and now I'm like, please put one in the park.
Everywhere, yes.
Why do we have a pirate lounge in the Magic Kingdom and not a Haunted Mansion parlor in the Magic
They could
Kingdom?
do both.
Actually, why don't we just have a Haunted Mansion hotel resort?
Well, that's a good question. That's a very good question.
Because suddenly the Polynesian would be bumped is my favorite resort. So anyway, yeah. So the Haunted Mansion parlor is there. It's also on the Treasure, as we mentioned. On the Wish, that's where you'll find Hyperspace Lounge.
Mhm.
So if you are more of a Star Wars fan
Mhm.
than you are a Haunted Mansion fan, and you're looking for a 4-night cruise, then choose accordingly
The Wish.
because Star Wars will be on the Wish and Haunted Mansion is on the Destiny. So, outside of that, we have the Sanctum.
Mhm.
So another kind of, I don't know, would you call it interactive, live entertainment? Like they have
bands.
live entertainment and bands there. So, which is a nice thing about a lot of these lounges. They're not just like, it's not just another place to sit and get a drink. There's stuff going on.
Mhm.
So, it's the Bayou on the Wish.
Mhm.
It's Skipper Society on the Treasure.
Mhm.
And it's the Sanctum here on
Yep.
this. So they had some, I know it was huge when the Wish started sailing. They had beignets. On this ship, they have waffles. Tammy had an unfortunate incident with
Did
the
have
waffle.
an unfortunate incident. The waffles on the Treasure were wonderful, so good, and there were some sample plates out yesterday as we were touring.
And these are probably wonderful and so good too.
Yes, but
if
I
you
I
like
just popped it in my
jelly.
mouth, which is very unlike me because I'm a fairly picky eater, but I really don't like jelly. It never occurred to me that there were jelly inside these waffles.
So it's like a sandwich. It's a waffle sandwich with the jelly, and then the other one is like a custardy vanilla
Yes, that one was not.
type thing.
Yes, that one was that lighter color.
So, and those are at an extra cost. You could,
Yes.
you can purchase them when you're in that lounge if you'd like a little snack. And these lounges are all, come and go freely. You don't need a reservation. I have seen people show up to Luna before with pizza from up on the pool deck. If you,
absolutely.
I may be that person.
Seen people doing that.
I may have been the person I have seen do it.
Yeah.
So you don't, if you're hungry, you don't have to go buy food there if you're hanging out at this lounge. You can grab it somewhere else and bring it in. But they have some pretty unique drinks there too. We haven't tried them yet, but we will be doing that tonight.
Today, yep.
We have so much to consume today.
Mhm.
And next to that is DeVille's. So on the Wish, we have Nightingales. We've got Scat Cat Lounge on the Treasure, and we have DeVille's, which I think it's number one out of the three.
Even though
DeVille's.
you're very upset that
Even
we're
though
celebrating the puppy killer.
I think it's very bizarre that we celebrate Puppy Killer and that she has a gorgeous grand piano that looks like puppies. It's black and white spotted. I'm like,
It looked like
puppy
puppies
piano,
walked
did they
around
walk
it.
on it? Is that what's happening?
Well, that's a good question, actually. I think
Because I thought it was spotted like the. I don't think. I mean, if I were Corella
Now
and
that
the
you
puppies
say
walked
that.
over my piano, I probably would kill a.
Yes,
So no, I would never really kill.
Scat Cat is the cat prince on top, but this one
Maybe there could be.
It is the puppy.
It is spotted. It is spotted like the Dalmatian first. I don't. Corella shows up sometimes at night.
She does,
And there's like a whole show, and you could write music for her.
There's this fun show where you rewrite her song. That some of the improv actors on board are singing her song, and she comes in very upset that they are singing this horrible song about her, making her seem so bad, And so she rewrites the song with the audience.
I never knew she had such a following. I have seen so many people here,
So many.
Not just like Disney bounding as her, but dressing as her. They've got like the fur, and they've got the wig, and it's. I saw one person who they may have actually had their hair colored that way. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I mean that's hardcore, but I mean she has a following, so and it seems like a pretty fun place.
It's fashion.
So I feel like Nightingales was a super sweet little place, but it wasn't like a party atmosphere, like a
It's very quiet.
and I hate to call this party too, because it's not like you're partying in there. I don't want to call it celebration because I'm not celebrating dead Dalmatians. So I don't know exactly what it is, but it's more lively. and
Yeah.
entertaining than a
I agree.
quiet lounge.
I agree.
So,
And the Scat Cat and DeVille's have an outside bar that opens up into the Grand Hall, which is different than the Wish. They did not do that with Nightingale, and I think they realized very quickly those spaces, all three of them, are too small.
mm,
Yeah, they're very popular and too small. So for the second two, they have put an outside extension of it, so you can walk up and buy drinks from
hmm
the Grand Hall and not go inside,
hmm
which is a great idea.
And on deck 3, we're on the main level of the Grand Hall. This is where you enter the ship. It's where the staircase goes up
Mhm.
from. Again, a beautiful cascading
Yep.
staircase. We have our statue. Every Disney Cruise Line ship has a statue when you walk into their lobby slash atrium slash Grand Hall. So on the Destiny, it is my word, Black Panther.
Black Panther. Yes.
It is Black Panther, and he looks
And a panther. Mhm.
Black Panther is very strong,
He's very strong.
and it
Yes.
took me a while to know that Black Panther was not the cat. So
No,
no one has been able to
it is
tell me the
T'Challa.
name of the panther yet, the
I don't
actual
think
cat.
the panther actually has a name, the actual cat.
So that's a fail. Somebody should be naming it. Has somebody please tell me the name? I've googled it and couldn't find it.
I mean, I've seen
It
the
should has a
movies. I
name.
don't think he has it.
So for my purposes, I call it Kit Kat because I have a black cat. He's an all black
It's a
cat,
scary
and his name is
Kit
Kit
Kat.
Kat. So
Okay.
we are calling that Kit Kat until we know otherwise.
Okay.
But
All right.
he is a very strong Black Panther man, and wow, what a symbol walking
Mhm.
into very powerful
It
Grand Hall
absolutely
there.
is.
I know there are many fans. Our dear friend Mukta is so excited
She's so
to see him, and
excited
I am
to
so
see
excited for her to see him.
And I think it's a lovely tribute to the actor who died, Chadwick Boseman. It's it was a tragic loss, and I think this is a lovely tribute to
This is
him.
a great choice for that purpose. 23 is located right behind that. So that's like back to the heyday of Hollywood, nostalgic Hollywood things. It's, I would say, the more formal
It is.
of the main dining options. There's no show that happens.
Nope.
There is memorabilia on display throughout the restaurant.
It's over 900 eyes. Yeah.
And
Really.
there are two sides of it.
Mhm.
So when you get on board, you'll want to look when you look in your app to see where you're assigned. You'll be in the Roy side or the Walt side. They're the same. They're
Yep.
basically mirrored each other. It's just how they
Slightly
divide.
different memorabilia
Right.
and whatnot inside.
So you'll have a dining room on each side, and then the hallway down the center of the ship, so that it just makes it less crowded.
Yes.
I think they kind of try to divide things up like that. So I would say it's a comparable option to, Royal Court and Palace or Lumiere's or Triton, something like
more
that. It's that type of thing.
Compartmented.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right there on deck 3. You also have right in the center, like the port side center, I guess we would call it, of the Grand Hall. Very exciting. The
It's
slide
very exciting.
to enter the Oceaneer Club. So the Oceaneer Club is your, like, is it 3 to 9 right now? 3 to 10. Once you get beyond 10, you max out. It's the kids club, and you can enter it using a sliding board from the Grand Hall to slide right down to the club. Again, same type of a setup as on
And the
Wish.
outside on the Destiny, it's Wreck-It Ralph themed. So Wreck-It Ralph is down there, Vanellope. It's very pink down there when you get down there, outside of the club. And the clubs inside are pretty much the same.
So for your parents or legal guardians who are assisting the children, if you choose to not take the slide to access the club, there's a staircase right there.
There is a staircase.
You can see your kiddo. They're not going to slide away into an abyss and get away from you. And then once you're down there on deck 2, the only other thing down there is staterooms. You got a lot of staterooms down there. Nice, quiet location for the most part. I have had people ask me, oh, wow, looks like I'm just down the hall from where the club is or across from the club. You are not going to hear it. That is so soundproof. The club runs through the center of the ship. The staterooms are kind of on the outer wall and down along the elevators,
And,
forward and aft. So
it's a small world nursery. It's right down there. I think we skipped Edge. Edge is on deck 5. Did we say that?
I did not mention Edge, but yes.
Tweeners Club.
Yes,
But
Edge is up. Where exactly is that?
it's on deck 5. It's on the
starboard side, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. And I think, we don't go down to deck 1 unless we need the medical center, right? Is that
we don't
on
wanna
1?
do that. We don't want to do
We
that.
don't ever want to go there, and we hope that you guys don't
Or
have
if
to
we're
go there.
disembarking for a fun port like Castaway.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, just to get off the ship. But
Mhm.
so I think that pretty much covers everything we've experienced so far.
I think it does.
And I love the ship. I would absolutely sail on here again
Yeah,
with
I will.
no hesitation.
I will.
Tammy, will
Next
you
week, perhaps next week. I will
perhaps on
come
the
right
maiden
back.
voyage next
Perhaps
week you'll be
next
back
week.
here, and then we will be sailing again together in April,
Yes, we
which will be amazing, and we'll have Rachel with us at the time.
Thank goodness.
We do miss having Rachel
Mhm.
here today. She wasn't able to join
And
us
she'll be
on
in the
this
tower
cruise.
suite, so
Rachel will be
I'll
in the
bring us
tower
out there.
suite, and we will be podcasting from there. Absolutely, our Disney life will take us to the tower. So we appreciate you listening today. We hope that you were able to learn a little bit about the Disney Destiny. If you were considering booking a sailing, maybe it encouraged you to do so. Maybe we encouraged you to go on the Wish or Treasure instead.
Maybe so.
I don't know. I think there's an ideal option out there for everybody. That
Mhm.
is the amazing thing about having so many ships in the fleet now.
So many
It is so
options.
crazy. We went for so many years, four ships, you know. It was
Two ships for a long time. Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah, that was a long time ago. I'm not going back
True.
quite that far. But from when I mean, I did sail when there were only two ships, but I didn't sail nearly as often
No,
as I
true.
as I
True.
do now. But it is just so nice to have so many different itineraries now around the world, so many different ports that they sail from, and different options with the ships. We still love our classic ships. But you can't beat these brand spanking new,
No.
gorgeous, state-of-the-art
Love
ships.
new
So,
ships.
but you may be able to get a better price on one of the others,
You
one of
could,
the older
and
ships,
still
and
have
there's
a great
nothing wrong with that.
experience.
That is still amazing too. We love those ships too. So, all right. So thanks for listening to our very special episode of A Disney Life. We appreciate you being here with us today. We may be following this up in just a bit with our Feast of the Pride Lands recording. If not, we will cover that another day. I
Mhm.
will absolutely cover it with you in a future podcast if we don't get that added in today. If you have any questions or comments for us, we would love to chat with you on our socials, a Disney Life Pod on Instagram and TikTok. We've got a Facebook group, which is a Disney Life podcast, and you can email us at a disneylife@storybookdestinations.com or podcast@storybookdestinations.com. Thanks for being a part of a Disney Life with us, and we hope to sail with you all soon. Bye.